It's a brand new deal that could earn her a lot of royalties. Meghan Markle is reportedly considering signing a deal with...
She's, among other things, a disaster tourist who cannot seem to stop herself from taking advantage of places where people have suffered amazing hardship.
Says this is not true. They have no idea where this came from. And as I told you and your producer...
Dior. Trust, girl, let me tell you, Dior just slammed the door right in Meghan Markle's face. Completely. And we're not talking about some tiny boutique here. This is Dior, the same house that dresses queens, princesses, and real royalty like it's nothing. But with Meghan, they said, enough. No calls, no emails, no collaborations, not even a whisper. When Dior shuts the door on someone, baby, that's not random. It's because they've seen something, and what they saw wasn't pretty. People in fashion started murmuring about missing gowns, pieces borrowed that never came back, photo shoots that somehow ended with more items gone than arrived. Then boom, it happened. A green dress just vanished after a magazine shoot. 3 years later, Meghan strolls out wearing that same dress like it's her trophy. That's when everyone started whispering louder, asking, wait a minute, what's really going on here? And honey, once you hear the whole thing, you'll understand why even the biggest fashion houses started saying no more. Before I spill the rest, let me warn you, this goes way deeper than just one dress. We're talking Toronto, the palace, and a pattern that nobody could ignore. Hit that subscribe button and hold your tea, because it's about to get wild. Picture this.
With Meghan, they said no more. No contact, no collaboration.
Meghan's at a Variety magazine shoot, posing like a dream in this soft green designer dress. Cameras flashing, lights glowing, hair and makeup working overtime. Everything looks perfect. Just another celebrity moment, right? Wrong. Because that dress? It was on loan, standard fashion world procedure. Designer sends a dress, celebrity wears it, dress goes back. Simple. Paperwork, tracking numbers, all clean and professional. But when this shoot wrapped up, that green dress was gone. Poof! No form, no receipt, no permission, no explanation. Vanished into thin air. At first, the wardrobe team stayed calm. Maybe it got mixed up, maybe an assistant misplaced it. These things happen.
I'm learning French on Duolingo, she says proudly, adding that she just hit a 90-day streak. I don't know how...
But they waited, followed up, asked around, nothing. That dress was gone for good. The story might have stayed buried. Just another quiet industry mishap. Except 3 years later, Meghan walks out wearing that exact same green gown. Same designer. Same details. Now, the fashion world doesn't forget, honey. That moment lit up every stylist group chat from London to Los Angeles. Suddenly, all those tiny, odd moments everyone had brushed off started to form one ugly picture. Stylists remembered warnings they'd heard, whispered at parties. Wardrobe coordinators remembered little incidents they'd ignored. Everything that once seemed like harmless coincidences started to make sense. All those off feelings, those quiet suspicions, they clicked together into one giant aha moment. Because this wasn't a one-time accident. No, baby. When that green dress popped up again, it screamed pattern, not mistake. It made people stop scrolling.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, the world's least happy millionaire, are said to be on the rocks.
Stop pretending not to notice and finally talk. And when they talked, oh, the tea poured. Designers compared notes, stylists confessed their experiences, and nobody was shocked anymore. They'd been waiting for someone to connect the dots. Turns out, stylists had been quietly refusing to work with her for years, not out of drama, but out of protection. Her team would reach out for designer loans, and emails went unanswered. Calls, straight to voicemail. It wasn't personal, it was survival. Brand managers who used to fight to get their gowns on celebrities suddenly had full schedules. Fashion houses stopped sending samples. People realized working with Meghan came with one big risk. If she wore it, you might not see it again. That's what people whispered, not as gossip, but as advice. Hey, be careful with that one. And when Dior finally said, we're done, the message was deafening. Dior, darling. The same house dressing actual monarchs, turning down the Duchess of Sussex, that was historic. And how they handled it, whew, it was icy smooth.
Camilla apparently made a jab at Meghan by wearing a full Dior outfit after Dior denied a brand deal.
No public fight, no memo leaks, just quiet professionalism. Door closed. Everyone in fashion understood exactly what that meant. Other brands saw how Dior played it clean, classy, final, and thought, yep, that's the smart move. Because in fashion, your reputation isn't just about pretty gowns, it's about trust. If lending a dress feels like gambling, no one wants to play that game. The fashion world didn't boycott Meghan, they simply protected themselves. Silence can be louder than any headline. Before the palace, before titles, before all the royal glam, there was Toronto, just another commercial set. Meghan walked in like she owned it. Confident, professional, radiant, Everyone adored her. The shoot went flawlessly until the end. The wardrobe coordinator started packing up and realized the numbers weren't adding up. Some dresses were missing, not damaged, not misplaced. Gone. And then a pair of Aquazzura heels, the expensive ones, also missing. The coordinator searched everywhere. Days turned into weeks. Still nothing. Months later, Meghan announces her royal engagement. And there she is in photos wearing those same Aquazzura heels, the very ones from the Toronto set. When someone asked, she brushed it off, saying she didn't want items she wore being sold on eBay. But the fashion folks weren't buying that. If she liked them, why not just buy them? That's standard. Celebs purchase what they love all the time. Her explanation didn't fit, and that's when the whispers started spreading, quietly, politely, but consistently. Be careful, things disappear. That's how the Toronto story became fashion's first red flag. Then came Kensington Palace. So then Meghan enters the palace world thinking it's just like Hollywood. You know, she thought, I'm the star now, I'll wear what I want. People will just send me things. But baby, royalty don't play that game. In the royal rulebook, if you wear it, you buy it. Period. No freebies, no exceptions. That's not some silly old rule, it's to avoid conflicts of interest. The royal women always followed it. Kate, Camilla, even Diana back in her day. But Meghan, whew, she wasn't having it. At first, the staff tried to gently explain, ma'am, this isn't Hollywood. Royals can't accept gifts. But Meghan saw those boundaries as insults. She thought she should be treated differently special. She wanted designers to send her gifts like before, and when they said no, she pushed harder. And behind palace doors, aides started whispering, she doesn't like being told no. Those words echoed through the halls. Requests for designer freebies kept coming in. Borrowed items weren't being returned. The same pattern, now inside Kensington Palace. Designers started calling, asking for their gowns back. The staff kept hearing excuses, vague responses, oh, it's being handled, but nothing came back. Toronto all over again, just fancier surroundings. Prince Charles tried to handle it delicately. He was the one paying for her wardrobe, like he did for Kate's. Catherine's yearly wardrobe cost was about £100,000, a full year's worth of official appearances. Reasonable, elegant, smart. But Meghan's? Almost £1 million in her first year. With fewer events, even palace accountants were like, wait, how? When designers began calling the palace not to thank them, but to ask when their items would be returned, Charles had to step in. He wasn't angry, just concerned. He sat her down to explain, these are the rules, this is how the system works. But Meghan didn't hear advice, she heard attack. She felt targeted. She thought he was controlling her, criticizing her, singling her out. From that moment, things shifted. The relationship between Charles and Meghan went from warm to tense. She began feeling cornered, watched, treated differently. Palace staff could feel it too. The air grew thicker, the smiles tighter. Charles was just trying to make sense of the missing clothes and sky-high bills, but every time he raised it, she took it as an insult. The truth was simple. This wasn't about money. Charles was paying. Meghan could afford anything she wanted. But it wasn't about affordability, it was about entitlement. She wasn't used to buying what she used to get for free. She'd lived years in Hollywood, where fame is currency, where wearing something counts as payment. So when the palace said you must purchase, it felt like a punishment to her. The mindset didn't match the system. In Hollywood, fame gets you gifts. In the royal world, fame means responsibility. And in the fashion world, honey, fame means trust. And when you break that trust, doors close fast. You can't imagine how small the fashion world is. Everyone knows everyone. Word spreads like perfume at a gala. Once Dior decided to quietly back away, that spoke louder than a scandal. No press statement, no PR spin, just silence, and silence in fashion means final. Because Dior doesn't drop people lightly. This is the house that dresses queens, icons, movie legends. They could have kept quiet and continued, but instead they said nothing, and that nothing said everything. After Dior's decision, others followed. Valentino, Givenchy, smaller brands too, they all watched, and what they saw made them cautious. They began ghosting her stylists, they'd reply less, send fewer samples. The invites to fittings slowed down. Slowly but surely, fashion pulled back. And you know what? It wasn't spite, it was survival. When Dior said no, the rest of the industry took notes. Protect your inventory, protect your reputation, because in fashion, trust is everything. Now, remember that Toronto story? The Aquazzura heels, the vanished green dress, the palace complaints, all separate incidents until that one photo of her wearing that same green dress 3 years later. That's when all the dots connected. Suddenly, everyone realized it wasn't random. It wasn't a misunderstanding, it was a pattern. Designers began calling each other. Hey, did that ever happen to you? Yes, same thing here. And just like that, all the quiet whispers turned into confirmation. This wasn't one unlucky brand. It wasn't one oopsie moment. It was happening to everyone. Then the fashion houses did what they do best. They closed ranks. Quietly. Professionally. No fights. No statements. Just no access. No more loans. No more replies. No more, sure, we'll send it over. She didn't even realize at first, but suddenly, doors were closing everywhere. The emails her team sent, ignored. The collection she wanted to pull from, already committed. The look she used to get easily, gone. Hollywood's rules don't work in royalty. Royalty's rules don't work in fashion. And when you try to mix all three, Hollywood, royalty, and high fashion, it's chaos. Hollywood says you're owed it. Royalty says you must earn it. Fashion says you must return it. That clash destroyed her reputation in one of the most powerful, quietest industries in the world. Because fashion doesn't cancel you, they erase you. Dior was the first domino. When Dior says no, the rest whisper yes to each other. Not publicly, but privately, they all start avoiding. She became the risk. And here's the irony, this has nothing to do with money. Meghan has millions. Palaces, deals, Netflix, Spotify, book advances, brand power. It's not about price tags. It's about the mindset. She believed wearing something was enough payment. She thought she was doing designers a favor by being seen. That's how it worked in Hollywood. But in the palace, you buy it, you log it, you follow the rules. In fashion, you return it. No exceptions. So when Dior shut the door, everyone else followed, quietly. And that's how her fashion relationships ended, not with a scandal, not with headlines, but with silence. Over the years, every story aligned Toronto, Kensington, Dior, Variety, different people, different settings, same pattern. Things disappeared, explanations didn't add up, and every time someone tried to ask, the doors of communication closed. And that green dress, it became the symbol of everything. The visible proof of all the whispers, the dress everyone remembered, the moment everything clicked, because when someone walks out wearing a gown that vanished years ago, you can't deny it anymore. That was the moment the fashion world said, enough. After that, opportunities just dried up. PR teams stopped calling, collections were unavailable, stylists pretended their calendars were full, and that's how it happens. Not loud, quietly, efficiently. By then, the industry had learned the lesson Dior taught them. No drama, no headlines, just distance. And the sad part? This wasn't just about dresses. It was about something deeper. A belief that rules don't apply, that fame grants exceptions, that being Meghan Markle was enough currency to rewrite the system. But fashion doesn't forget. Trust doesn't reset. When a door like Dior's closes, it stays closed. That green dress became more than fabric, it became proof. Proof that whispers were true. Proof that the fashion world wasn't crazy. Proof that boundaries were broken one too many times. From Toronto sets to palace halls, from designers to Dior, everyone connected the dots. And they made one collective decision: protect what's theirs. Quietly, permanently. No explosions, no big blow-ups, just doors closing, one after another. And you know what's wild? After all this, Meghan still acted like nothing happened. Still smiling, still posing, still carrying herself like she's untouchable. But behind her back, every stylist, every brand, every PR rep knew the truth. Dior doesn't say no for no reason. And that, my dear, is how one dress, just one green dress, told the story the whole world was too polite to say out loud.